How's it going? My name's Josh, and here's your tech tip of the week. We're going to talk today about suspension and setting up your suspension for the proper weight of the rider. If this is off or your sag points aren't correct, your bike will ride very harshly or be very soft and not have very good control. A good rule of thumb is we like to start with the rider's body weight plus 10 psi. You can also always refer to the manufacturer's guidelines online. Go to xfusion.com, fox.com. These manufacturers will always have these specifications also. But in this case, the Specialized camber, I like to start with the rider's body weight plus 10 psi. This rider weighs 130 pounds. What you'll do here is you'll unscrew this little cap. You'll want to have yourself a high pressure shock pump. Something like this shock pump will go to 300 psi. Your regular shock pump inside your backpack will only go to about 100 max. So you need to make sure that you have a very high pressure pump. This is something that most bike shops will sell you, generally running from $60 to $120 if you go with a large floor pump model like this. What you'll do is you'll just undo that cap, screw your pump on here. You'll see in this scenario that the rider, I got about 120 psi, but again, my rider weighs 130, so I'm going to put 140 pounds in there. Rider weight plus 10 psi. Once I get it up to the weight, I unscrew the first stage of the pump, then the second. After that, I'd put the bike on the ground, test it with my rider. With my rider's weight just sitting on the bike, no input from a bump or anything like that, you would want this ring to sit about 20%. If you see the ring sitting down into the 50, 60% mark, way too light, you want to add a little bit more air. I like to work in 10-pound increments. If you see it right in here, you've got too much air in it. You'd again let out about 10 pounds, let the rider sit on it. Again, perfect sag points about 20%, good rule of thumb. Front forks, pretty similar to your rear shock. One nice thing is most manufacturers now will have a chart for your rider's weight right here. In this case, again, my rider's 130 pounds at the bottom end of their chart. I'm going to start right at 50 psi for this rider. You'll unscrew the air cap up top here. Just like the rear shock, we'll put this on. Make sure my pump's at 50 psi, right there. Screw the pump, and I would have my rider sit on it, check the sag points again. Most shocks will have a ring right here, like on the rear shock, and you'll be able to test it. If your shock doesn't have a ring, you could also use a zip tie, and then just cut it off later when you're done. Make sure you do put your valve caps back on. You don't want to get any dirt or debris down in here. And that's your tech tip of the week. My name's Josh, and thanks for watching.